Hello everyone out there. This is Trinity from Uganda, and I'm going to be going through the ADX. ADX is it's called the Average Directional Index. Now, on your screen right now, you're viewing my live quotes. Okay, so first off, this is a demo account. Let me just see. Yeah, that's the demo account that I'm running right now. So the average directional index, let me just start off by saying it measures the velocity of any currency or pair that you're using. Um, Usually the ADX has a level of about 25. When any currency pair reaches the level of 25, it is usually assumed that by then it's going to go further than that. It's going to go higher. But usually when a currency pair lingers between 0 to 25, that pair is usually in a ranging phase. So we don't usually, or let me say, I don't usually love trading range because range is not that easily predictable. So I usually wait for any currency pairs to cross the level of 25, and then I know that it has gained the maximum velocity for a trend to start forming, and so I can enter that trade and either ride the whole trend up to the end, or I'll just take out a few pips out of the trend and be satisfied with that. Scalpers would love to do that. I'm usually a trend rider. I wouldn't really call myself a day trader or a swing trader. I'm more like a vibes trader. So that's to say, I don't trade every day of the week, but I usually at times I could just leave a trade running the whole day or a week or something of that sort. And okay, so without further ado, on your screen right now, you're looking at gold USD, ZAO USD, and this is one of my favorite. Like I usually trade. If you've been following some of the posts I put up, it's usually gold or gold, oil, and then the USDX and stuff like that. The CFDs basically. I do trade in currencies, yes, but not very often. The currencies I trade in are GBP USD, Euro USD, and USD CAD. Those are my preference. Those are my preferred and only currencies I trade. Although I don't trade them all the time, I usually just trade in um, oil, and come on, these notifications are really annoying. The dollar, oil, and gold. So let's look at gold right now. Um, the ADX indicator at the bottom of the screen is running on a period of 3. Now, the ADX indicator has got 3 lines in it. The black line, which is the ADX, you'll see the ADX, and then the green line, which is called the plus D, and then the red line, which is the minus D. Now, the green line shows a buying trend, and the red line obviously shows a selling trend. Now the ADX, which is the black line, is basically the velocity meter. So it shows that a currency or a trend is either rising or falling. It doesn't specifically say that when the ADX is going down, it doesn't mean that you should start selling or buying. For example, if you look here, right there at the 50, 50, 51, 45, the black is going down, yes, but you see that the green just dipped a little bit, and it continued climbing up before it dipped down to 0 again. But then before it dipped down, there was also a sell here that crossed this. Oh, by the way, I need to mention this quickly. The standard level of is usually 25, but I opt to use 15 just so that I can catch a few more pips early, and before a trend goes into, before a pair loses strength, or such that if I catch it early when it has just crossed 15, I can actually ride it up to the top, and take out a whole lot more pips than someone who waited for it to reach 25. Now, without further ado, I'd love to, let's see, we're looking at gold right now, and we can't sell according to the ADX. Why? Because the minus D, which is the red line, has gone below the 15 mark for me, but the green is above. It already crossed and it's going, and it's evident with this bar that you're looking at here right now. There was a strong buy here, but because it hasn't hit 15, it hasn't come down, then I can still think of entering a buy right now. Buy, say, okay, I didn't catch that, but let me just enter a plain buy. Order has been placed, and then let's see. Okay, so let's go back to our chart. Now, I'm running on the 15 minutes chart. So if we hold this out for about 15 minutes, or I should have done this recording on a shorter time frame. But anyways, let's just ride it out. So my basis for entry is that the plus D is already above my mark of 15, and so I can enter. But usually the best place to enter is right at the point where it crosses the level of 15, and I could actually change this to 25, there, 25, and then set that and say done, and then you would see that I still have a buying prospect here. Yes, because it would have slightly crossed over, but the reason why I automated this is basically because it doesn't trade range. It specifically trades, let me just go back to the level of 15. Let me leave it at 25. So it doesn't trade range, because range is very complicated. Range is very unpredictable. But one thing we are sure of is that when a currency has hit the level of 25, then it has the strength to go the distance. For example, if you look here, we have a very nice entry at 9:45. You look at that time, 9:45. There was a very nice entry there. It came, dipped up to around 10:30, and then it went back up to 10:45, and then it finally closed at 11. So that was all buying. So we're looking at this gap here as a buying gap, in which you would have made about, let's see, 60 30, 60 30, that's 30 plus 30, that's about 60 pips. You would have made about 60 pips of a buy in gold. Similarly, let me just scroll back and show you how good the ADX really is. Look at this point here. Look at this point where between you have where okay, by the way, don't kindly disregard the moving averages, because I just use them there as a guide, just to please my eyes, to show me that yes, I actually entered a trade at the right time. But if you look at this carefully, at around 1500, that was yesterday, yes, 15 yesterday, there was a very nice buy opportunity here that started at 15.15, and it went all the way up to sorry, up to around 16:30. That's about 1 hour 15 minutes of just buying and buying. And if you look at it, there's a total of, let's see, our entry was at 12.95.64, and we exited at yes, and we closed at 1300, 1351. So you can imagine this is a whole buying session, and then it crossed down below. Yeah, you see that the point where it crossed down, and then because it entered a small ranging phase there, and then look at the sell there, look at the sell there. You see, from there it jumped out into a sell. Yeah, big sell, because the minus D crossed the level of 25. You see that big sell, that was the first bar. It sold out the first bar. There was a doji there, which was not so clear, sign of a ranging phase. And then then another sell. Look at that, it just keeps selling and then keeps selling, you see. And then it finally closed there, right? You see, so we have all this. Now we are coming down from almost, let's look at it again, from 12.99, from 12.99 when we start selling, down up to 12.95. Now if you're using a lot size of about 0.05 or whatever it is, you realize that that is a wonderful, like a really wonderful selling opportunity. Let's look at a little more historical data. Okay, there's so many of them. There's so many of them. You look at this here. You have this from 1292 right up to 1299. Now, depending on your money management, I mean, if you want more money, you use a higher lot size, or like I do, you use a bigger leverage and something of that sort. Now, you look at something like this. Yeah, there was a sell here. You look at this cell that goes on from right here, yeah, to from around 1293 down up to let's see, up to around 1290, 1291. Yeah, you find that the D minus, both the D minus and the D plus are both below the level of 25. Why? Because at that point, gold USD has not attained the velocity to form a significant trend. So much as it's trending according to the moving averages, it doesn't have the strength to form. It's an unpredictable trend. Yeah. Let me give you a nice example of what happened recently when there was a very good gold breakout here. I think this is the one. Yeah. You look at the plus D, capturing it right here. Yeah. And then we ride the trend from 1292 right up to 1300 again. Yeah, you look at that. So this is why I automated the system. Why? Because I might be busy doing something. I might be attending maybe to family. I might be at work. I might be in the field like I am right now, and I will not be able to hold my phone at all the times. I'll not be looking at the computer screen all the time. It might be at night. I might be resting. But with the ADX, I'm basically going to enter the trades at the right time to form really high trends, like really profitable trades. Look at this sell here that started at 2230. 2230. Let me just adjust the screen a little bit. Really high velocity, really high velocity here. 22, okay, so 2230, we go down, really high velocity up to there. Now it's a very short trade, but basically you entered in at the right time and got out at exactly the right time. Look at that, it's just from 1297 to sorry, my screen is stuck. Yeah, 1297 to 1296. Yeah, that's about a 10 points difference. Yeah. Now, if you're running that using, let's say, oh, sorry, I needed to get my calculator. Um, let's say, zero point 0.05 times times 10, 0.5, using a leverage of about 1 to 1 to 200 or 1 to 500. Let's just say 500. For example, that would be about $250. Let's say 1 to 200. That would be $100 just from a 10 points difference from using the ADX indicator. Now back to our charts. This is not really to disqualify any other indicator or um, trading strategy that someone may be using. I'm just saying that this is I've automated the ADX to get me in and get me out at the right time, at the time when currencies have the strongest velocities to form a trend. Yeah, so basically I'm going to get in and get out at the right time. So whether I'm actually awake or asleep during the day, at night, or I'm driving in the field or something of that sort, trades are basically going to be executed for me at the right time. I'm going to have what I would call the perfect entry and the perfect exit. If we look at the buy, I entered in really late, yeah, and if you notice right now, the plus D is beginning to go down below the 25 margin, yeah, which is the standard. And yeah, you see, I'm actually like, this was a very late entry, but this was just for demonstration's sake. So I'm going to hold this on for the entire 15 minutes, and let's see, and I'm going to ride this out since this is just a demo account, and see, as soon as it crosses down below 25, then I just close the trade. But yeah, I hope you get it, that yeah, this is basically an automated system that gets you in at the perfect time for you to make the maximum pips. Now if I were following this earlier, then I would have actually gotten in at this point. Mark this point here. Time frame would be 1445, and I would have purchased the whole of this buy here, starting from 1297.91 right all the way up to 1299. Now 12 let's just do the math of that buy. 1297 12 let's see again, 1297 1297.88 12. Okay, so let's just look at that. 0.05 times okay, so just a minute. 1297.90 minus let's just go back to our chart. Where were we? Here, right here. 1299 1299. Okay, so you see here, so my entry was already in profit. Yeah, I entered and I was already in profit, and it's still climbing. Why? Because it has not yet touched the line of 25, so it's still going in profit. You see that? So depending on the lot size, that's just 0.1 or something of that sort. And my aim is usually to make $1 a day. Sorry, $1 an hour. So if I want to make $1 an hour, then I'm going to use lot size of about 0.05, which I should have done earlier, to get trades of to get at least $1 in this trade, and then I would exit. So as soon as my trade hits $1, then I can exit, or I can just ride it out until the plus D hits the line of 25, and then in that case the automated system would just exit at that point. Okay, so let's go back to what were we looking at? We were looking at 1299.67. 1299.67. That would have been 1.77. Okay, 1.77, which would be about 17 or 7. Uh, um, oh, let me just redo this. um 1299.67 minus 1297.88, sorry, 1297.88, that would be 1.97, that would be about 17 or something of that sort. Okay, so 1.97, so this would be, let's take it, 1.79 times 0.05 times 0.05 times, sorry, I just got this wrong. That is 10, 1.97, 1.79 times um, times 10 times 10 times 0.05, that would be that times a leverage of 200, which would be about $197, about $197. So just that one bar, that one buy would be $197 already in my wallet. So the perfect entry and the perfect exit is the reason why I choose the ADX indicator. Okay, so now you look at this critically. The plus D has now crossed below the 25. You see, as soon as it crosses below 25, which means my buy has lost its strength. Currency has lost its strength. So anytime either the minus D will cross above the 25 or the plus D will recover its position, just like it did at this point. Here at 10:30 a.m. currency gained strength, lost strength, but gained it again, and then closed at 11 p.m. The same happens all the time. Yeah, so you really determine, you really have to decide what you call range. Some people to whom I've given this indicator choose that their range, their range level is going to be 15, like me. Some people choose the standard of 25, some people choose the 50, some people choose 10. So it's really up to you. Do you want to catch more pips early? Then you choose a level of 15. Do you want to choose less? Do you want to choose high profitable pips? You can get stop at 25. If you choose a level of 50, which means you're going to use a very high lot size for very tiny pips. Say, for example, if you choose a level of 50, which means you would be targeting maybe 4 to 5 pips. Why? Because by the time it gets to 50, there's usually a high chance that it might reverse, it might change in strength. There might be a change in trend direction or something of that sort. So yeah, that's basically a summary of the ADX and why I chose the AD to automate the ADX indicator, to trade using the ADX. Hope this was helpful, and yes, if you feel you have any questions for me, yeah, just hit me up anytime in the group or in private, and yeah, I'm always ready to answer any of your questions. Yep, so guys, happy trading all, and see you next time when I post the next video. Bye.